and welcome to Sarah Football. My name is Raphael Bandamankwati, and today we speak about a very pertinent issue in relation to our Black Stars as well as our infrastructure deficit in the country. As you might well be aware of, the Black Stars were scheduled to camp in South Africa, Johannesburg of South Africa, some days ago, but after widespread agitations and calls for the taxpayers' money to be used for a fruitful purpose, the Ghana Football Association as well as the Sports Ministry thought it wise to camp in Ghana, and they found no other place than Kumasi. They felt Kumasi was a possible destination where it brought the Black Stars closer to home, brought the Black Stars to the Kumasi faithfuls, because most matches that have been played in Ghana by the Black Stars have been played at the Kumasi Babara Sports Stadium. You know how Kumasi people are very excited and enthused when the Black Stars is in camp. So it speaks volumes of why the top hierarchy of the Ghana Football Association felt that Kumasi was a like list of destinations for them to choose for the Black Stars camp. Then again, something just cropped my mind. They chose, that is, the Abraham Kess Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex as their venue for camping. So a very fine edifice, if you ask me, by any stretch. They've been camping for the last 4 days, but then news broke that the coach, that is Chris Hutton, and some of the technical players or technical team were not enthused by the facilities they saw at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. They were like, nah, the training pitch is not of the standard they would have expected. Some of the washroom facilities were not of the standard they've wanted or they want. Then the question begs to ask that, as a footballing nation that has been to we started playing professional football some 67 years ago. We've been to about 27 Afcon, that is the African Cup of Nations. We've won the Afcon title for 4 different occasions. This year, as part of it, we are edging towards 42 years without the Afcon silverware. Our last was somewhere in 1980s, and we are still edging, hoping and praying that in a tournament that we'll be playing in neighboring Ivory Coast, we are able to win, that is the Afcon. There's a country that has been to 4 World Cups. We've been to the 2006 Armenian distinction. We made it to South Africa 2010. We also went to Brazil. We missed out on Russia. Then finally we made it to Qatar. That was just last year. This is a side that is ingrained with football. This is a side that has been playing football for only God knows how long. So you would ask yourself, you have an edifice like the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence that's located in Pram Pram, and this particular edifice is supposed to house, that's the senior national team as well as all other national teams that are partaking in major tournaments. So this particular edifice I'm talking about, it has that's the 4 dormitories, 1 admin block, 1 big dining room. It has 4 football pitches, 1 astroturf, a beach soccer pitch, and 1 dressing room. So that's the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence, which is located at Pram Pram. So this afternoon I was scrolling through, that is social media, particularly that is Twitter. I noticed that Morocco, that's one of the participating countries in the African Cup of Nations, they will be participating, and they have put up a fantastic edifice, which is the contract sum in that particular edifice was totaled around $65 million. And off the top of my head, some of the things I saw in that video had 8 training pitches. There was a swimming pool, there was a luxury hotel. You also have a table tennis court, there was a swimming pool, an array of other facilities that you could boast of for this particular edifice that was put out by Morocco in their native country. So you ask yourself that if a country like Morocco has been able to put out this fantastic edifice for their national teams to be using, because time and time again they would have to probably go rent facilities outside, maybe in Dubai, in Qatar, in the Gulf, for their national teams to use, but they've thought it wise to put up an edifice of this magnitude. Last season, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich in the German Bundesliga. They also came up to play some of their, they held training sessions there in Morocco. So you ask yourself that this is a country that is on this same continent with Ghana. If for anything at all, Ghana has won 4 Afcon titles. Ghana has been to the World Cup on 4 separate occasions. I mentioned 06, I mentioned 2010, I mentioned 2014, we missed out on 2018, then we did the 2022. There has been a lot of money that has come up as a result of our participation in the World Cup. FIFA, I'm not going to go into the financial details of it, but FIFA has given participating countries a chunk of money from their participation at the FIFA World Cup. There's been a lot of interventions from FIFA to member countries. You ask yourself, so what have we done profitably with these monies that have been deposited in our accounts? Because there have been times that we have to put certain things right in order to assess these funds to our benefits, but we haven't been able to make the full potentials of these things. The Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, it's a private owned, it's an individual, a single-handed individual that put up this for his club. That is Nations FC. They are playing in the Ghana Premier League, and that's where they play their football, hold their training sessions. That is where the Black Stars of Ghana actually are camping now, because the Black Stars are going to camp for the next 10 days in Ghana before they depart to Cote d'Ivoire for the tournament itself, which kickstarts on 13 January this year. So you ask yourself that of all the monies we've been getting, all the funds we've been getting from FIFA in the last few years, what have we been able to do with these funds? Because countries like Algeria, countries like Morocco, countries like Tunisia, these North African countries, you look at the training pitches, you look at the stadiums in which some of their clubs play, like CX Sfaxien, Tunis, you have MC Algiers, you have a club like Al Ahly, Zamalek. Look at the facilities that they play. That is why most often than not, when we play like our clubs like Mediama, they play against Al Ahly, you can see the gulf in quality, because which AstroTurf pitch is Mediama going to train on before they probably play a club like Al Ahly? Not to talk of the Black Stars, because you look at the Black Stars, we have an array of players that are applying their trade elsewhere in Europe. They come to Ghana and they have to play under such poor pitches. Charlie, what are we doing with our football? What are we doing in our football? What do we want to achieve with our football? Because it looks as if time after time we are regressing. Charlie, it's like we are regressing, because you look at 67 years of professionally playing football and we haven't been able to do anything profitable. Like, we don't have like a luxury hotel for the Black Stars, or maybe the Black Maidens or the Starlets, the princesses to camp in, and every time we would have to rent hotels here and there in Accra, in Kumasi, Takwa. We have to come to that stage where we have putting up edifices like training pitches, there are gym facilities, there are like swimming pools, there are like an array of training pitches for our players to, because when you go to some of these North African countries and the training pitches on which the players play, there are varieties of training pitches. You look at how they play, and like every match has probably the training pitch on which we have to play. But you come to our side and it's like, Charlie, the football we are doing here, time after time we are regressing. Even our club sides are unable to boast up good training pitches, football pitches, football venues that would like help us rub shoulders with the very best on the African continent, not to talk of our Black Stars. I feel that in the last few years we haven't been able to do anything safe side. But moving forward, if we want our football to progress, to rub shoulders with the likes of Algeria, Egypt, Senegal, Mali, Cameroon, we need to put acts right. We need to make sure that we are doing what is expected of us, because in the last decade, in the last 2 decades, Charlie, our football, our level of football has regressed. We haven't been able to rub so, even with the Afcon Cup of Nations. In the last 2 Afcon Cup of Nations, it was just the group stages. We failed abysmally, we came back. The last one, before this one too, it was the same thing. You ask yourself that, Charlie, like, I think, like, it hasn't all get well. And I ask myself whether the people that have been putting in these strategic positions to help our football advance in this pursuit to rub shoulders with the very best on the African continent, not to talk of like the global stage or the world stage. What are they doing with our football? Because we are having, Charlie, we are not doing, because look, just look at Kwame Che, like the Dr. Kwame Che Sports Complex on which the Black Stars is training. Fantastic air defense. But then again, it begs to the question that, like we have the Ghana's Soccer Center of Excellence. If we were upgrading that particular air defense, because last year we were told that that particular air defense in Pram was going to get a facelift. We've seen pictures of the air defense. We've seen some of the training pictures on which our boys and girls play. Charlie, it's not admirable, it's not the best. And I feel that if we are to, because football is now business, if we are to take our football to, higher heights, we need to put certain things right. We need to make sure that we are doing what is expected of us. The lip syncing is too much. We've been talking a lot, but we need to put these visions, these ideas into actions. We need to make sure that, because when you are having our Black Stars play at pitches or in other places like this, it's the taxpayers' money. Because look at, in the last few years that the Black Stars have played, most of their camping sites have been in 2002. We did a campaign in Winneba. That is in relation to the Afcon. We did a campaign in Winneba. We didn't qualify to the 2004 tournament that was played in Tunisia, where they did a 2004 tournament. We didn't qualify. In the 2006, we did a campaign in Raiders of Tunisia. We moved to Abu Dhabi in 2008. In 2010, we did South Africa. In 2012, with Rustenburg in South Africa again. In 2013, we did Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. In 2015, we did Seville of Spain. Then we also did that is Dubai. That is Dubai in 2017, we did Dubai in 2019, we did Doha in that is 2021, and in 2023, if not because of widespread agitations, we would have done that is Kumasi. We would have done South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, but later on the top hierarchy settled for Kumasi in Ghana. So I think if we want to do something profitable with our football, I think we need to get our acts right. It's been one too many, but I think we need to get our acts right. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please subscribe to the channel. My name is Raphael Banamankote. Keep up alive with sports.